Have you checked the children? You're a little mad sometimes.
Hi, I'm Chucky. Wanna play?
Sometimes that is better.
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Horror Show, and today's video is a little bit different. Today's video is a sponsored video, or at least the video I'm doing is a review of a product that was provided to us by the company that creates the product. So I'm talking about the Hisense 4K Ultra HD TV that is 85 inches big, you guys, and that is this bad boy right here, okay? Now, I'm going to be talking about this thing because, yes, they reached out to us, and the nice thing is, the funny thing is, quite frankly, we get reached out to feature products and services all the time, but they're all such generic emails, and this one reached out and was like, hey, we've watched some of your guys' stuff, and we think that you could really use a large screen TV with what you do, and we like, you know, how you guys chat during your reviews and stuff like that. And so I was on board, and I was like, okay, sure, if you guys want to send us this, we could absolutely use it. And that's what they did. So they sent me this TV, and they gave me a certain period of time in order to assess it, and now I'm here to review it and all the features that I think are important, you guys. I was excited to receive the TV, obviously, and give my thoughts on it, but what I realized over the course of the last month and a half of me using it is that a TV, especially one this size, can really be more than just a screen to watch stuff on. I've realized that a great centerpiece TV like this has to have impact, and this one does. So that's how I decided to break down this review. Again, I'm not a guy with a deep technical knowledge about things like this. That's this guy.
Hi. Hey.
But I am going to break it down in terms of how this TV has impacted my life, our show, my family, and even my friends and family of my family. It's going to be fun, so here we go. First, the impact on your living room is thus. This thing is huge. I mean, you don't really know how big 85 inches is until when the delivery guy shows up, he asks you to move your car out of the garage so that he can put the package in its spot instead. And he kind of laughed at me when I said, wait, aren't you going to help us bring it inside? He's like, no, this thing's over 200 pounds, but if you cut it off the pallet, it should be easier. It's like, okay, great, thanks. Once you get it off the pallet, though, and into whatever room it's going into, then you have to unbox it. Just make sure you already have arranged a space with enough room for it. Now, I only had a relatively short table to put the TV on, but luckily, Hisense thought of that sort of limitation and made it so you can attach the legs of the TV in two different locations along the bottom of the screen. So whether you prefer to have your TV to have a wider base, or if you only have room for a shorter one, the TV's leg positioning system can accommodate for it. Additionally, for the TV's size, it's actually pretty light, especially when split between two people. Plus, Hisense also had the forethought to put handles on the back of the TV to make relocation a non-chore. Once the TV is in place, though, it looks great. Huge screen, thin edges, plus it's not too deep either, being a flat screen. All in all, if you have room for it, or you can arrange your room around it as a centerpiece, the realistic impact on your living room space is relatively minimal. The impact on your significant other, however, Now, your mileage may vary, of course, but here's how my girlfriend first reacted to learning the news of us receiving such a large TV. So, baby, what do you think?
Do we really need a TV this big?
Yes. So the impact on your significant other might not be entirely positive at first until they settle into it and realize how enjoyable it is to have basically a home theater. But yeah, at first it might not go over so great. Unless they like sports. So, babe, what do you think?
Do we really need a TV this big?
Well, not necessarily, but you can watch all of your football and basketball on it. That's That's good enough reason for you? You don't want to go get food or anything like that? You're just going to fish through the sports then? So yeah, sports look good too, but frankly, I'm not the biggest watcher of sports, so I'm going to leave that section up to Andrew as well, along with the technicalities. Let's be realistic. This is the main reason why most people consider getting newer and bigger TVs, this in sports. But as someone that watches loads of programs and movies for the horror show, you guys know that having something this big is really something that can enhance your experience, as long as all of the interior stuff makes for a good exterior experience. And we'll get into all that. Honestly, when an 85-inch TV is in your living room, the proportions aren't far off from what you're experiencing sitting in the back half of any theater, size-wise. I mean, it really feels so much more like a theater than the 60-inch I was previously using, especially with good sound. The fact that you're getting 4K resolution is great, but the TV also utilizes Dolby Vision HDR high dynamic range plus HDR10 for dynamic contrast and true-to-life images. Honestly, I don't know what the last half of that means, but that's where Andrew will clear things up in a bit. All I know is that everything we watched looks incredible on the screen. As for sound, you can either plug in your surround sound system, headphones, or stereo using a Bluetooth connection, or use the two 7-watt speakers that come inside the TV that utilize the DTS Virtual X audio technology for an incredible multidimensional audio experience. Again, I'm not a super big tech geek, but all I know is that I've had numerous TVs in the past where if you turn the volume up beyond a certain level, the sound automatically peaks and starts to crackle the entire time. That is not the case with the built-in speakers here, and I've tested them. Just to get a couple of other opinions on this, I went ahead and asked Fuego and Robert what they thought as they were watching certain things with me over the last month and a half.
Hey everybody, big thanks to Hisense for sending us this beautiful monitor, which is unfortunately showing Cam Newton having a celebratory sort of situation, but everything that we have seen on this, whether it was sports, whether it was seeing some of the early films on Netflix that we are privy to as far as guest goes, rad status, brilliance of color and brightness, and not that, graininess or darkness as far as where you have to up the brightness to get the proper accord and interest and investment and everything like that. So props. Thanks, everybody, and we are going to continue watching my poor Cardinals lose today.
So, Robert, what have you thought about this TV as you've watched stuff with us?
Well, actually, it's pretty clear. I like the clarity, the color that we have, and honestly, can't go wrong with a big-ass screen. So, there's nothing bad to say. You got great sound quality, but it also just goes back to the pixels and the clarity of the TV. So, I would highly recommend grab yourself a Hisense.
And that's just the adults. Trust me, my kids have been absolutely loving watching cartoons where the characters are basically as big as they are. Plus, they seem to stay and stare in awe longer while they watch, giving you bonus me time. So I think at this point, what I'm trying to drive home is that this TV has an incredibly positive impact on the TV and movie viewing experience. As you may know, we do lots of video game Let's Plays on this channel, but usually those are done upstairs on a 55-inch that I have up there. But let me tell you, after gaming for a while on this 85-inch, it's going to be a hard thing to go back and record upstairs when we have to do that, because gaming on this bad boy is a whole nother dimension. Gaming is all about putting the player into the experience, and having such a large screen for your gaming truly helps to immerse you in whatever world you choose to pop in your console. Gaming is advancing as quickly as everything else, so having a screen that can handle a 4K picture with a motion rate of 120 with a refresh rate of 60 Hz is pretty crucial to making sure your immersion is rarely, if ever, broken. Plus, the high dynamic range of the picture, including the color differential, really shine when playing games because of the constantly shifting plane of view. A TV of this size needs to be able to refresh fast enough to fill the screen with the quality picture throughout every frame. Again, gaming is all about immersion, and in the absence of VR, having a giant screen with fantastic sound is truly the next best thing. One of the things I've found myself doing as the holidays approach and more family decides to drop by is just using this massive screen to jump on YouTube and search 4K video tour and just selecting one and letting it run. Normally, it's some drone shot comprised scenic tour of some part of the planet. That, or some kind of extreme sport shot on a body-mounted GoPro. Inevitably, it ends up being a conversation starter because these YouTube channels are made almost exclusively to show off 4K video of gorgeous locations. So when you have company come over, throw on one of these channels and just enjoy the utterly gorgeous images assaulting your vision on this larger-than-life, high-quality television. Some guests will ask where these beautiful locations are. Some will ask where the music comes from that's associated with the things that they're watching. And some will just want to watch sports.
Whoa, whoa. All right, I'll talk about sports. I got to actually watch some sports recently on the TV, and even though it was two poor teams in Cleveland and New England playing, everything on the TV was glorious. The picture quality is amazing. All of the range of colors, it having so many colors to choose from, your bright colors pop, your shaded areas, it gives you depth, it gives you textures, really have a feel to them. You can see the difference between a matte and a gloss and things like that. They shine on this TV. They don't just show, they shine on this TV. There's minimal motion blur with people running around, catching passes, making tackles, all the madness in the crowd. You get to see every detail. You could see the numbers, the letters, or the names on the jerseys. You could see everything that you wanted to see. The details in the laces when the ball is being rotated. It truly was an experience to sit in front of this TV and watch a game that I've seen too many times to count, but it was special. The sound from the TV was, it was layered. You could hear so many different things going on the field, in the crowd, even in the booth. The commentators kind of had a different tone to them. It added to the experience of just a live sports event, not just viewing it, but kind of feeling. The 60 hertz refresh rate with a motion rate of 120 really made you feel like you were seeing that extra clip in between what you normally see. It just gave everything a little more detail. Again, it counteracted the motion blur, being able to see every detail. Again, it just added to what a great experience it was. With it being an Android TV, it does have built-in Google Assistant, other various built-in apps, streaming services that you're able to use. You can use them using voice controls too. Overall, the TV being 85 inches is daunting, but you really get to see every 8 million pixels on the screen and see every little detail, every color, every shade, everything you want to see. This TV is going to be a gateway for you to be able to see that. The details on this TV are limitless. If you don't believe me, just look at the image right behind me. There's details in just the blacks alone. That doesn't even include the textures in the water, the textures in the sand, any color in the sky. It really does make you awe at some of the places in the world and how you can view them on this TV. All in all, if you're sitting out there wondering how to spend your money, I wouldn't think this is a bad idea at all, and I'm sure you can find a deal on it to make it even less of a hard convince for anybody that you might have to sway.
So that's what Andrew has to say about that side of things, you guys, the sports and the tech. So I hope this has been a comprehensive review of this product. Thank you again to Hisense for sending it to us for review. Again, it's the biggest thing we've ever received on the channel, and I'm happy to be able to relay that it is absolutely worth the money. The TV is worth it. It really, really is. So thank you again to Hisense for sending the product. Thank you to you guys for watching all the way to here. If you have to this point, I greatly appreciate it. Until next time, I've been Cecil Laird, and remember, stay scared.